All right. We are currently recording. As always, I'll go number, letter, and then what we disagree on, we'll come back to at the end. All right. Number 1, I got D as in David.
I agreed with that.
Okay. Number 2, I had C as in Charlie.
Yep.
What did you get?
Okay. Number 3, I had B as in boy.
Correct.
Yep.
Number 4, I had A as in apple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. 5, C as in Charlie.
No.
Yep.
6, A as in apple.
Yep.
I had B on that one.
You had B.
Oh, wait. 6.
We'll come back to number 6 then.
Sounds good.
7, I had C as in Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. 8, I had A as in apple.
Agreed.
Okay. 9, I had B as in boy.
Then what was 8?
8 was A as in apple.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one.
So then 9 was B as in boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 10, I had A as in apple.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got.
11, C as in Charlie. 12, A as in apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one.
12.
13. Oh, what do you got?
12 was A.
Yeah.
12, A,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
13, B as in boy.
Yep.
Okay. 14,
Wait.
D as in David. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going. What did we have for the last one?
For 13.
13 was B as in
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, okay. That's what I had.
Okay, good.
I thought you guys said on.
All right, so 14, I had D as in David.
Yep.
Okay. 15, I had C as in Charlie.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Okay. 16, C as in Charlie.
I got A.
Write one down.
Okay. We'll come back to 16 then.
Okay.
17, this is what I struggled with, but I ended up at B as in boy.
B, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Okay. 18, I had D as in David.
I had C.
Okay.
I had C as well.
Okay, we'll come back to that one. Okay. 19, I had C as in Charlie.
Yep.
Yep.
And then 20, I had D as in David.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's go back to the ones that. So the first one was number 6.
Yeah.
So
I think we
wound
just
up-
agreed on number 2 at first.
Did we? Well, number
I
2.
originally-
Go ahead.
I originally had D on 2, but someone else had C.
I had C. Where did everyone else land on 2?
I had a C.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had C as well.
Oh, 2. I had C. Why did I say D?
I must have heard, yeah, D, C. Oh.
Yeah, no, I definitely had C. I was looking at that going, huh? Yeah, I had
Yep.
C also.
All right, no, yeah, I just thought we disagreed on that one, but never mind.
My fault too. All right, so 6. So I had A, and a couple of you guys had different ones, right?
I had B.
Okay.
C.
So when the dollar depreciates, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So when the dollar depreciates, people can buy more of our stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that means our
So we're gonna
exports
have-
are going to be rise.
Yeah.
Rise
Correct.
because our exports are rising. That's part of the GDP calculation. So our quantity of goods and services are going to.
To increase, you said?
Yeah, they're gonna increase. They're gonna go up.
But at the same time, if you're buying, I mean, this is just me thinking, if you're buying more, wouldn't that decrease the quantity of goods available
Well,
or demanded? I mean,
it's not asking about our domestic purchasing. It's all the answers are exports. So what are
Yeah.
other countries going to be doing? They're going to be buying more of our stuff. So our exports are going to rise.
Cheaper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense.
So A it is, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
jump
We all
ahead.
went on 6.
You went
We all
A.
went for A.
A is an apple. Yep.
Okay.
So we go to 16 here. So I wound up with C, and I think a couple of you had different ones.
All right. So policymakers control. I honestly had no idea on this one. I think I just guessed A because the question asked about supply and the economy is contracting. So I'm like, oh, well, they want to increase the supply. I don't know.
So,
I mean, if you think about it, if they created a policy that increased demand, that would probably make the contraction worse because the demand would be higher, but the supply wouldn't change. So the prices would be higher. But if they move supply to the right, prices would go down, but there'd be more of it. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm really not very confident in that answer. So, I mean, I could be convinced on all of them.
yeah, so that's where like I was at, and I mean I said A, I believe.
I think it is going to be a shift to the right.
That's where I was going C because it was going right, but it's supply or demand. Which one? It's the tricky. Let me reread this question.
Okay, Louisa, stop pulling on the cat.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm taking a stab in the dark. I'm confusing myself by reading it 100 times.
Yeah.
Well, we know they want to offset a contraction, so they want to shift something to the right.
Yeah.
But the contraction is caused by a shift in supply. So my gut feeling is that they want to increase the supply.
When you say it out loud, it makes sense.
So increasing the supply would in turn what? Increase the demand?
It would offset the contraction. So if you look at the graph down below, let's say right now we're on supply curve 1.
Yeah.
Or I mean supply curve 2,
Okay.
and there's a contraction. So the supply decreases, shifting to the left. Well, Congress wants to get back to point B here. So the way that they can do that is by increasing the supply.
Okay. So A.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super confident in that, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The way you've
originally I had
explained it
A,
sounds good.
and then I crossed it out, and then I circled C, and then I circled a bunch of them, and
Yeah, I
Join
mean,
the club.
we could, I mean, if you look at the graph right underneath 16, it's, let's say at the beginning, we're at supply line 2, and then it contracts, so now we're at supply line 1. So Congress wants to get back to supply 2 with the lower prices, at price 2, so they are going to enact policies that'll shift the supply to the right. That's what I think. So
I agree with that. That makes pretty good sense.
Sounds good. All right. Next one is 18.
Yes.
Because I was a little sketchy on 17. 18 I'm pretty sketchy about. And I think D was a guess on my part. Because they all seem to work in my head at that moment.
well, I know that C is correct. It's the natural rate of output over the long term, right?
Right.
So let's look at A and B and see if they are right. So it's consistent with the concept of money neutrality. So I mean, over the long term, it doesn't matter how the supply works, or I mean how the money supply, the money supply level is. It's the same. Is that the idea behind the vertical line, or not?
That's what I was thinking. Is it's just
Okay.
it doesn't change.
Okay. And then
that's what
That's
All right.
what I was under impression of too.
yeah, and then B is consistent with the idea point A represents a long run equilibrium and a short run equilibrium when the relevant short range aggregate supply. You know, I think that is true too.
Yeah.
Is that because it intersects both on the supply line and the demand line and the long range supply. So
right.
and then we know that C is true.
Yeah.
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 That's where I think I was stuck on D because I couldn't come up with any of them that were wrong. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Agreed. All right. So 18 D.
Sounds good.
Good deal.
Makes sense.
Is there? So that covers all of them. Is there any of them that you guys need to double check on one last time?
No, I'm good. Not looking forward to the exam.
So 19, you guys put C.
Let me double check.
yeah.
Yeah, I had C.
All right.
Yes.
So stagflation, I think, is when prices rise and unemployment falls. B.
Take a look here.
All right. Say that again.
So I think it's B. The
So you
prices
think
are
it's when
rising.
Prices fall.
You mean A?
No, I think. Oh, is there only 2? Oh, on the quiz, there's 4 answers. It's rise and rise. Is there only 2? What does it look like on the quiz?
So
There's 4.
19A is rising unemployment falls. B is fall and unemployment falls. C is rise and unemployment rises, and D is fall and unemployment rises.
See, on the PDF, it says rise and unemployment falls, rise and unemployment falls, fall and unemployment rises, fall and unemployment rises. So I thought maybe on the quiz, on the test, or whatever, it would be A and B, because there's only, on mine, there's only 2 options pretty much, but it's repeated twice. So isn't it when prices rise and unemployment falls?
So here it says stagflation is a condition of slow economic growth and relatively high unemployment. So, I mean, there's two rises there, even though one of them is slow.
Yeah, so unemployment's rising, but prices are also rising. That's what I thought stagflation was.
Yeah, from what I see here, it's that
That would be C, though.
stagflation is high inflation with high unemployment. According to the definition I just looked up here.
So C, right?
Yeah, that would match with C because you have a high unemployment rate and then like the prices have risen as well.
Okay, so in my PDF that I downloaded, that's A, rise in prices and unemployment falls. That's weird. You guys don't have the same thing on your PDF with A and B the same and C and D the same?
It looks different.
Oh,
Yeah,
No.
mine's different.
Mine looks like I think it's Brian who's broadcasting. Mine looks like Brian's.
oh, here, let me look at Brian's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Well, it's slightly concerning.
I don't know if you guys can see, but mine is the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is different than this.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here, let me show
Really?
you. Here, I'll show you. I mean, it's not that important, but
No, I'm glad that we're still recording this, though. That way, if there's something amiss, that hopefully we'll see.
let's see.
Right.
Get out.
Okay, start screen share. I mean, the rest of my things, see, can you see right here?
Oh yeah, your B is different.
Yeah.
Your CL, yeah. Wow.
What is that?
Wow.
Wow. So
Is it just that
let's make
question?
sure when
That's
we do the
intriguing.
quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, as far as I know, it's just that question.
Hmm.
So anyway, so on mine, I'm saying A, rise, unemployment rises. Okay, so
Yeah.
Unemployment
So
rise.
on the one
okay,
I have in Brian.
so that's this is
Strange.
C. Okay,
Right.
well, that's weird. All right, so that's
So we're gonna
it.
have
And
to pay attention to go through the test.
yeah, we're gonna have to maybe comb through the test and make sure that it's all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop hitting record here. I'll stop recording.